Hi everyone. I thought we could do a little bit on this little mini journal together today. So this is the one that I was working on the other day that I showed you all the binding of, and I've done most of the decorating inside the journal now, apart from a very few little finishing touches. It's not heavily decorated. There's plenty of space in here for writing, so it's more of a writing journal, but there are lots of decorations. There's loads of stenciling, stamping and all that kind of thing in there. But what I thought it might be quite nice to do today is to work on a couple of little bits that I'm doing here, but I think I've lost what I was going to pick up and show you. But I'll dig around for that later on. It's got to be here somewhere. So I just feel like it'd be nice to just do a little something with you guys and see what we can do. So first thing I'm going to do is show you the bookmark that I have. I'm going to make it for the back. So I've got these little bookmarks that I've made, really sweet. This is a paper napkin stuck onto some old scrapbook paper. I think some scrapbook paper is more like card, and that's what this is like. So I stuck a single ply patterned napkin over the top, and then I stenciled on the top of it. So this is stenciled on top. This is the other one that I made. So I'm just having a little debate with myself. I've actually got a big, I'll show you what I've got. I made a big one of those, so I'm just cutting bits out of it. So that's what I've kind of got, and I'm going to make a choice between these two of which one I'm going to use, because I can either use the one that's a little bit bigger, or I can use one that's a little bit thinner. So I haven't quite decided which one I'm going to use yet. So I actually feel like I might use the one that's a bit wider. And what I'll do is I'll cut this bottom bit off here. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's just do it. So we want it to be about the length of the book. So that's quite handy because that's where the stenciling runs out. So I don't know if you could see that on the camera. So that's where the stenciling runs out. So I'm just going to cut that off and then make it like that. There we go. So that will go in there as a bookmark. So what I will do is to I'll pop either some stickles or some liquid pearls or something here. So what happens is it doesn't keep falling out, because at the moment that will drop out of there. So you can either put like a pearl or something, or a little pearl flower. I've got some of those I could use, or just some stickles in a pattern. So I think what I'll do is I'll do that with you guys whilst we're all here. And I wish I knew where that little piece of... I've got a piece of sari silk that I was going to use. I have the word journal stamped on it, so I was going to use that as the front plate, and I was going to make another bit of the front plate to go underneath it. Now I've lost the thing, so I'm just going to use some liquid pearls, and I always try and do a little tester on that just to get going. So the pattern I fancy doing is like a swirly pattern, so let's see. I'm not really an artist, but we can give it a go. You could, of course, if you are kind of worried about getting it super accurate, draw it on first. But, you know, I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. There. So that's not too wonky. Kind of a bit of a swirly pattern. So with the liquid pearls, this one is a coppery coloured one. The trick is to go down, up, down, up, down, up, not to sort of stick it too harshly down. So I'm going to pop that to one side to dry because that needs to be left alone now. Can't be playing about with liquid pearls. Once they're on, they're on. And what I was going to do is I was actually going to make a little front plate here. And I've got the word journal stamped on a bit of sari silk, but I'll have to do that a different day because I've got absolutely no idea what I've done with that. It was right here a minute ago, so it's obviously here somewhere. It's just hiding from me right now. I did clear up a little bit so that I could actually do what I was going to do without it being all cluttered up, and so you could actually see what I was doing. So I've probably shifted it to one side, and now I can't find it. So thought what we could do as well. Just open this up to the middle and put on our covers for the back, the spine. Cover the spine. That's the words I'm trying to get out of my mouth at the moment. So I've got some sari silk, which is the right sort of colour, and I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to use 2 bits. And my plan currently is to give it a go with some glue stick, because I think it'll be all right with glue stick. Do have my Fabrifix here if I need it in an emergency. That's fine too. So I'm just going to go down the spine, in between, along the bottom and along the top. Now we are going to want to go down the sides. So I'm just going to do it on the edge of the sides for now. And we'll see. If we need some Fabrifix down there, then we'll try it with Fabrifix. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to pull the sari silk kind of wide so it spreads across like that. So now we're kind of stuck down there. And then what we're going to need to do is just measure it a little bit so that we know we want to go over the edge. So that's going to be probably about 1/4 of an inch-ish. I'm going to guess. I'm not going to measure anything. That's just far too easy. No, it's not. It's a faff, isn't it, measuring things all the time. So I don't really tend to do that. So I'm just putting a bit more of the glue actually onto the sari silk itself, so that it will hold against the one that I'm going to put on next. So I'm going to stretch it out nice and wide. I'm going to lay it down so that the spine is all covered. It should be kind of almost even. If it isn't, we can trim it off. Let's have a look and see. So we're about this way over and about this far over. So we'll just need to trim a little bit off of this side, or maybe move it over a little tad. A little tad more, so it can be more or less even. Let's see if that's any better. Stick it down. I think give it a really good smush because we want it to stick quite firm. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So now we should have around about even along that spine. So that's rather good. So it's, as you can see, it's lifting up a bit here. So I'm just going to put a little bit more on there and really smush it down so that it sticks really well. Okay. So then I can't quite decide where I'm going to trim this off. I think I'll probably just trim it to the edge as much as I can. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to get a little bit of Fabrifix and put it along, right along the edge. actually really sure whether that's coming out properly or not. The light's not great in here because it's winter now, and just using the overhead light. Let me just feel if that's there. I'm not so sure that it actually really is, to be honest. Let me just try. And open it up a bit. There we go. Now I think we've got some coming out. Excellent. Let me just pull that off. I think there's a bit of a globule there that isn't letting me think. Ah, there we go. Now it's coming out. Groovy, groovy. Rub it in a little bit. And push that edge right down. Okay. I think we'll do the same here. Just to be certain that we've got it right up to the edge. I'm going to get those tassels out of the way. And then use that right up to the edge. I've started using this little bottle because A, because it's got a really thin nozzle, and B, because the big bottle of Fabrifix that I've got is like quite a heavy plastic, and I actually find it really hard to squish and make the glue come out. So I just find that really hard. My hand's quite weak anyway, so it's probably me. But anyway, that's why I've switched to the little bottle. So that's nice. I think we'll be all right there. And you just want to be able to trim off the edges of that so that it's nice and flush to the side. So I'm just going to chop off a little bit first. And then if we haven't got enough, we can ruffle that off at the very end. We might do it with a nail file or something like that so that it's easy to get rid of. Just going to get rid of those so we don't cut them off. So I've just trimmed those roughly for now. I'll probably tidy those up a little weeny bit because they're just a little bit over the edge at the moment and a little bit below the edge, but it's tiny bits. What I might do is just get my nail scissors and just trim those up so that they are really tidy. So now we have covered the spine, which is great. So I might just leave it like that. I might put some sari silk all the way around, maybe, but that will cover up my beautiful sewing. So I don't know. I'll probably keep the sewing actually because it isn't perfect, but it's kind of rustic. So I quite like the fact that it's not perfect. And then I've just got to put on the little journal plate, which I've lost for the time being, but it is here somewhere, so I will find it and then I'll pop it on there. And I'll show you when I've done that. I won't show you me hunting around for it because that is kind of boring for you. And frustrating for me because I knew it was here a minute ago and now it seems not to be. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed just a little bit of crafting with me today. I'll be back again shortly to show you some other bits and bobs that I've done. We can do a bit more crafting together. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and like and share and subscribe to all those good things. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.